Welcome back to Talk of the Town, and we're joined now by Schwarz Insurance, and I'm joined by one of the Schwartzes himself, Tom Schwarz. So
Thank you for
I'm
having
assuming
me.
there's a connection there to the name of the company.
Yes, there is.
I figured that, and so that kind of leads me into my first question of how did this firm get started?
Well, it was started by my grandfather in the early
cool.
20s, 1923.
Wow.
He had gotten out of college and was back in his hometown in Prairie du Sac, and decided to start an insurance agency. And here we are 90 plus years later.
Oh my gosh, so in the 1920s was when it
Yes.
was first started.
Yes, yeah.
How cool is that to think that that's kind of been, I mean, you hear about people having family businesses, but starting in the 1920s, that's really impressive.
Well, it's rare, and we're in our third generation now.
Wow.
My grandfather started it, my dad, my uncle continued it. I'm in business with a brother and sister, and actually recently one of my brother's sons joined the firm, so we have a fourth generation in the firm.
Fourth generation, that's really incredible.
Yeah.
And so where are you guys located if people want to come check you out?
Our home office is in Prairie du Sac, Sauk Prairie,
Sure.
Sauk City and Prairie du Sac, right on the banks of the Wisconsin River. And we've been, as I said, our hometown. We've recently expanded into 6 other communities around the state. We also have a couple of programs, fire department programs, and so we pretty much dot the middle of the state.
Very cool. So if you're living in a different location, or maybe you don't live in Sauk Prairie, the options are still available for you.
Right. We're in Middleton on University Avenue, Richland Center, Lodi, Baraboo,
Wow.
Marshfield. Boy, I'm missing one, but
It kind of gives you an idea, though, of the area that you cover.
Yeah.
And so what are some of the different products that you sell?
well, we focus mostly on small business and families and farms.
Okay.
That's where most of the business is in our communities. So we focus on small businesses, community-based businesses, both in their insurance, the regular business insurance, as well as their benefits and health insurance features. And then we continue on to families with their auto and home insurance, and then also with their health insurance, things like that, life insurance. And then we continue on to farming, obviously, is big in Wisconsin, so a lot of family farms, a lot of ag-related businesses. So we're a brokerage for several different companies that do business with those types of things, and we focus on that.
Wow, very cool. And I would assume, since you are from here and you kind of have all of those different generations, that you really have a feel for the people who live in our communities.
Yes, we were all, again, born and raised in south central Wisconsin, went to college locally, so really enjoy the people of the area, know what they want, know what they need, and we like to give back to the community, so we all serve on different boards and raise monies in our different communities, and really enjoy living there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really important to be involved too, to get to know your community. And something I was wondering too is, what's the role of an independent agent?
Well, as an independent agent, you represent the customer rather than the carrier. So we contract with a lot of different carriers and their products, and then we represent the individual to those carriers. So we take a look at price, coverage, your individual risk assessment, and then we look to a carrier to fill those needs.
Sure. And I know you mentioned some different companies you represent too. Do you have any examples of those that you could share?
One of the major ones is West Bend Mutual.
Okay.
We do a lot of business with West Bend, and obviously based out of West Bend, Wisconsin. QBE, which was recently known as General Casualty, out of Sun Prairie. We also deal with a lot of Wisconsin-based carriers: Acuity, Society Insurance, Integrity, Secura. Those are just a few of the carriers we represent, as well as some of the local HMOs, Physicians Plus, Dean, Unity. So we represent a lot of those to the individuals.
It sounds like you've got a really wide reach, just
Yes.
from everything you've listed. I think we
Yeah.
could just spend a whole 5 minutes just listing all the different things that you do.
At times it gets to be a lot
Yeah.
of carriers, but they all have certain traits, and they all have their individual niches they like to do, and it's up to us to make sure we have enough knowledge about the carriers and how we represent them to the clients.
Perfect. Well, Tom, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And again, this was Schwarz Insurance, so be sure to go check them out at their multiple locations. You guys are sprinkled a little bit everywhere. And Talk of the Town will be back right after this.